For more on the Gilas-Iran game, kasama natin ang basketball analyst and blogger and Mr. FIBA himself, Enzo Flojo. Enzo, welcome to The Score.
Hindi lang Mr. FIBA. Mr. FIBA na may column sa FIBA website.
Kaya nga, tinaguri ang Mr. FIBA. And,
nabuko na.
napakalaking victory ito para sa Pilipinas, Enzo. And ano sa tingin mo, ano yung mga keys to victory ng Pilipinas kanina?
Well, I think, sabi ni TJ, Castro and Blatch really took over. No? They were the leaders on the court, and as expected, they played really, really big. Blatch had maybe his finest game of the tournament, had 4 steals, 2 blocks, his best defensive effort as far as I've seen in a very, very long time. Yeah. So that was big. He limited Haddadi to about 10 points lang, 7 rebounds. So that was very, very significant, for us. Si Castro naman, he showed once again that he was indeed, or he is indeed the best point guard in Asia. In-outplay niya si Mahdi Kamrani of Iran. No? So those two guys leading our charge in this big game, I think that was a very big reason that we came out on top so convincingly, actually.
There was concern before this game about the ankle of Andre Blatch, yet you said that you feel na ito yung pinakamagandang game ni Blatch sa tournament. Ano naman ang nangyari kay Haddadi? Bakit parang nahirapan siya sa opensa, Enzo? Was it the defense of Gilas, or was it just a bad day for Hamed Haddadi?
Well, I think Iran really had trouble matching up against Blatch in particular. Remember, in the Jones Cup a few weeks ago, when they played Gilas, Blatch was not there. So they've never played Gilas with Andre Blatch there. They've seen tape, I'm sure, but to play Gilas with Blatch is a completely different thing altogether. Blatch, when he hit that 3 in the first half, that was a signal for Iran to stretch their defense. Because they can't leave him open. So Haddadi was forced into an uncomfortable spot. He had to patrol the paint, at the same time, shadow Andre Blatch. So that probably took him out of his game. Of course, it helped Gilas na guys like Abueva were getting at Haddadi's goat for most of the game as well. And eventually, that took its toll. Haddadi fouled out in the second half.
And I think isa pang key, Enzo, was yung depensa nitong Gilas Pilipinas. They limited the #1 scoring team sa FIBA Asia to less than 80 points. No, they average about 100 points. What did you notice dun sa depensa ng Gilas Pilipinas, especially in the second half?
Oh, we were very aggressive on the defensive end, playing the passing lanes. So I think we forced 16 turnovers from Iran, converting that into about 19 points off turnovers. And that was very, very big for us. No? And if we play that kind of defense, ganun ka-stingy, ganun ka-aggressive, I think we can go all the way in this tournament.
In the past, Enzo, ang mindset ng karamihan, dahil tayo mga Pilipino, hindi tayo masyadong matangkad, kailangan natin ng mga shooters. This particular team doesn't have a lot of spot-up and knockdown shooters, but we have guys like Calvin Abueva and Terence Romeo na talagang nagpakitang gilas dito sa laban na to. Are you surprised that they're able to tally double-digit numbers pagdating sa points at nakakalusot pa sa depensa ng kalaban?
Well, if you see how they play in the pros rather, hindi ka talaga magugulat eh. Kasi they are aggressive 100% of the time. They're fearless, sometimes to a fault. But in this context, against a team like Iran that prides itself in being composed, guys like Terence Romeo, Calvin Abueva, sila yung mga parang wild card ng Gilas na parang you won't know how to play against them. And in this particular game, that was to our advantage. When they were hitting their shots, when Abueva was making those daredevil drives, Iran unraveled. And that was very uncharacteristic for Iran to do.
Ngayon naman, so we have one more game in the second round against India tomorrow. Enzo, siguro talk to us. Tell us what is up next for the Philippines. What do we have to do? And what do we have to do moving forward? And what are the consequences of whether we beat India or we lose to India?
Well, we're sure of playing in the quarterfinals already. India is a tricky team. The last time Gilas played India was in the 2014 FIBA Asia Cup. We won by just 4 points. So this is by no means a sure win for Gilas. So even if we're coming off this victory, India, like the Philippines, unbeaten in the second round so far. So hindi to, again, sure win. No? We are favored. We should have the advantage. If we play the way we play today, we should win that convincingly as well. If we win that, we get top spot in Group E. And hopefully a lighter assignment in the quarterfinals.
Enzo, nung natalo ang Gilas Pilipinas sa Palestine to start the tournament, biglang dumami yung analyst sa social media. Ano naman ang epekto ng panalong ito ng Gilas kontra sa powerhouse na Iran?
Well, I think it reminded everyone again of how good this team is. No? before the tournament began, we won the MVP Cup, we placed second in the Jones Cup, we were overwhelmingly confident. That Palestine result, I think, really brought the team back to earth and gave them the wake-up call, the reality check that they needed. And right now, we're seeing the fruits of that with this big victory over Iran.
Siguro, pag-usapan naman natin, Enz, yung nangyayari sa kabilang group, yung Group F. Who are the teams to watch out for dun sa Group F? Kasi yan yung mga makakalaban natin sa crossover quarterfinals and eventually the semifinals. Sino yung mga matitinding kalaban sa Group F?
Well, all the 6 teams on the other side of the bracket, all 6 of those teams can finish in the top 4 this tournament. That's how good that bracket is. So any team na makalaban ng Gilas dyan will pose a serious challenge. Of course, ang pinakamahirap dyan would be China. They're the biggest team in the whole tournament. They have 4 7-footers and they're playing at home. The walking Great Wall talaga yung team na yan. Kaya mahirap kalabanin yan. But you have teams like Korea, that's been our adversary for the past 10 or so years na. May Qatar ka, who has a former NBA player, si Trey Johnson. May Lebanon ka pa dyan, may Jordan ka pa dyan, Sus Mariosep. Kahit sino kalabanin mo dyan, mahirapan ng Gilas.
Pero sa tingin mo, Enzo, sino ang makakabangga natin sa kabilang group?
Well, if all the top-ranked teams in Group F win their games against their lower-seeded teams, I have us going against Jordan. And that's going to be an interesting matchup. Last time we played Jordan 2 years ago, we beat them. But this time, they have players that weren't around 2 years ago. They have Sam Douglas and Zaid Abbas. They're 2 best local players. So that promises to be a good matchup if ever that does happen.
Okay. So marami pang possible na mangyayari and it's going to be very interesting, very exciting. So aabangan natin yan. And as always, we will probably see you back here, Enz. Thank you very much for coming here on the score.